we saw that this man is delivering results,
Nigeria,
not
Reno
activity,
omokri,
I think it's wrong for
serious.
anybody not to support
He
him,
don't
because
have
Nigeria is our
integrity.
goal.
Reno omokri, I challenge you. Hear what you said today in 2025, and then listen to yourself after you finish what you say in 2025, and then listen to what you say in 2023 against Tinubu, the same person you are trying to defend today.
In December of 2022, you were one of those who went to the street, and it was hashtag harass Tinubu out of London. And there were a lot of things you said, unprintable words, that I may not be able, because of regulatory rules and all that I may not be able to say. You called the president, the then candidate of the APC, unprintable names. You say that he does stuff that are criminal. You said a lot of things about him. Have you changed your mind about what you know about him? Or what prompted you? You said part of what prompted you to start supporting him. But as a man you knew before then, has it changed now?
You have to understand that I am probably the most meticulous fact finder in Nigeria. September 19th, 2022. Prior to that date, a lot of people had said President Bola Tinubu, also as he then was a candidate, that he did not graduate nor attend Chicago State University. Now, what did I do? I am sure you remember, Sheon. I did not just join them in saying that he did not go to Chicago State University. I actually physically went to Chicago State University. I went there and I verified that the man went to Chicago State University. And I was being interviewed on Arise TV, and the Arise TV interviewer, Sheon, you remember that video? He was insisting, this is even before that December protest, he was insisting that President Bola Tinubu did not attend Chicago State University. And I said, no, I had been there and I verified that he attended. So that was way back before. I think that interview was in November. I was in Peru. And then subsequently, I did the protest at Chatham House because of my party. I was a party man. My party had talked to me. We said, look, we needed to have a protest. And as a party man, I did that protest. Subsequently, we went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court invalidated everything that we did that protest for. I don't want to repeat the reason why we did that protest. It had to do with a judgment in Chicago. And then we had that judgment go all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, no, this is not what the judgment said. This is what the judgment said. And so because of that decision by the Supreme Court, I had to, just like I dropped and I let's say I neutralized that allegation against the president, I also neutralized what we did at Chatham House. So you have to understand, everything I do follows facts.
That was not the only thing. It was not about his educational background that you were agitating about and you went to the street. There's a particular thing that you said and which you know.
Yeah, that is what I addressed. I mean, maybe you're not listening to me.
I did.
That particular issue, it stemmed from a Chicago court. And the Supreme Court, it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said the interpretation that maybe the general public, of which I was, gave it is not what it was. I mean, I could go further, although I would not like to mention it. It said that
but mention it. We are interested
and the
to
conditions
hear
were not against the candidate, Bola Tinubu, at that time. It was against certain accounts. And just as I was...
Reno mockery. Now, listen to yourself then.
No, I mean, another person isn't telling me. You see the picture on the screen. I took that picture. If you move to the right, you're going to see me in that picture. Bola Tinubu is a known drug lord. He has this man who is meant to be the Minister of Labor and Productivity, or rather say on productivity, who went on TV to try to hoodwink Nigerians, telling them that the charge against Bola Tinubu was just for tax, that all he paid was tax, that he had nothing to do with drugs. That is a big lie. I have the document here. Nigerians can see it. I hope you can see it on the screen here. I have the document here. It actually says, and if you look at it, it says docket. A docket, and as I'm speaking, your viewers can go on Google and fact check me. A docket is used for a criminal pending. A criminal pending. So you don't use a docket for a civil matter. And then right on the very first paragraph on this docket, it says that this is a forfeiture action under 21 USC section 881. USC is the United States Criminal Code. I will state it again. USC is the United States Criminal Code. Now, if you're watching at home, you can go on Google and you can fact check me. The United States Criminal Code is Title 18, USC, United States Criminal Code. And I'm going to read what Section 881 of the USC, the Criminal Code, says. Now, this is it. I'm reading it. Nigerians can see it here. This is what I'm reading. It says, the following shall be subject to forfeiture to the United States, and no property rights shall exist in them. All monies, negotiable instruments, securities, or other things of value furnished or intended to be furnished by any person in exchange for a controlled substance or listed chemical in violation of this subchapter. All proceeds traceable to such an exchange, and all monies, negotiable instruments, and securities used or intended to be used to facilitate any violation of this subchapter. The word used there is controlled substances. Now, for Nigerians who may not understand this, a controlled substance are what they call narcotics, hard drugs. In this case, it was white heroin. Bola Tinubu was involved in a white heroin cartel. We know, and he was the treasurer of that cartel. And then he put some monies into an account. He was working for Mobile. And as he was working for Mobile, his salary was $2,400. Yet he paid in a total of $1.4 million into several accounts. Now, he was asked to explain how he got those monies. He could not explain how he got those monies. So one of those accounts, the monies in there, $460,000, it was forfeited to the United States government. It was not taxed. Now, there is only one agency of the United States government that has been given the authority to take forfeited amount, and that is the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. If you look at the case of the U.S. state, the state...
You are a fake man.